Yo, what is up, Cup Check audience? Welcome back to another episode. I'm here with co-host Zach, and today we're going to do a little part two to our video that we just posted about hot hitters. We're doing the opposite. We're doing hot pitchers. We're going to be looking at the pitchers who are off to an amazing start. Zach, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, but not as good as you, Mr. Big City in the Big Apple.
That's true. I'm currently filming live from New York. And if you didn't see it in the previous video, be on the lookout. I might be heading to conquer Yankee Stadium in the upcoming nights. Hopefully go catch a game and just mark off Yankee Stadium as a place that I can say I've been to. So without further ado, let's just get into the video and we'll see you all over on the PowerPoint. All right, we're over here on the slides, going to be looking at the hot pitchers and just kind of asking the question if we're buying the hot start or not. So number one, Carlos Verdon. I don't think that this one can really be debated. He's got to be the hottest pitcher right now. 29 Ks in 17 innings. I mean, it's almost like I put him on my breakout list and said he was going to just go crazy this year. Carlos Verdon, a guy I was really high on, obviously had phenomenal numbers last year with the White Sox, and now he gets the most pitcher-friendly ballpark ever. So yeah, just was really high on Carlos Verdon, and I'm just glad to see that he's come out healthy, and he's just been looking good so far.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I was forced to make a list of the busts for this season, I included Carlos Rodon. And most of that was due to he just seemed like a prime regression candidate, kind of injury prone guy. What I failed to remember is the Giants do this all the time. They take these veterans and especially pitchers, and then they just mold them they just revive their careers. I say that as there's a Tim Lincecum jersey behind me, which doesn't really fit that bill, but definitely worked for Carlos Rodon. And just the eye test too. He's looked absolutely disgusting, and he could honestly be a Cy Young contender for this season.
Definitely a guy who could be a Cy Young contender. He just needs to stay on the field and keep doing what he's been doing. Just really excited to see a healthy Verdon, and this is a guy who people wrote him off. Like, he was a high draft pick, and then people just kind of forgot about him. And then on just a regular day last year, me and Trent were doing who should you pick up from the waiver wire video, and I said Carlos Verdon, and then he threw like a no-hitter perfect game the next day. So I've been on the Verdon train for a little while now. I'm just glad to see the man's balling. So moving on, Sean Manaea. This is a guy who was on Zach's team all of last year. Zach absolutely loved Manaea. Zach, what do you think of Manaea?
Yeah, Manaea is the type of guy we don't need to look at these baseball savant numbers, because he's the type of guy that kind of, even though the baseball savant numbers are pretty solid, he does not fit today's mold of a starting pitcher. More of like a low 90s guy, but he is a quality start machine. That's the one thing I remember from having him last year, is a workhorse that can produce contact, keep his pitch count down, go 6 innings. And he's continued that this year. 3 starts, 3 quality starts, which is everything you want.
Yeah, and over here at the Cup Check headquarters, we're going to have to take a look at who's making these slides, and they're going to have to be fired because Sean Manaea is indeed not on the Oakland A's anymore. So nice picture to whoever made the slides. But yeah, Sean Manaea loving his new team, and he's just off to the races so far. And he's really that ADP that you had to pick him at. He's just looking like a great pick at that point, especially with how some of the top pitchers who had to use early picks have come out looking. It just really makes these mid to late round pitchers who are performing look that much better. Moving on, a guy that we were really high on, Alec Manna. One of the rare times me and Zach are just in unison where we just both agree that a guy's a stud. Zach, what do you think of Alec Manna going forward?
Yeah, I remember last year when he came up, it just looked like he was throwing a wiffle ball. The ball just kind of moves different with him. And young talent too. He's not as injury prone as some of these older guys.
Knock on wood right now, Zach.
What?
Knock on some wood right now.
Yeah, facts. But yeah, he's a young talent. So especially if you're in a dynasty league, he's a super valuable guy to have. And even right now he's sitting at 9.75 K per nine. I would not be surprised if that just goes up from here.
Yeah, and also have to keep in mind that he's doing this in the AL East at this young age. So, I mean, he's facing the top of the top lineups in the league. He's facing Boston, he's facing the Yankees. Luckily, he doesn't have to face Toronto, but yeah, he's just facing some really tough competition. The AL East is kind of where pitchers go to die, in my opinion. So, Alec Manoa just thriving in the AL East really just makes him all that much better to me. So moving on, Justin Verlander, another guy I put on my breakout list for this year. Not really a breakout guy, I guess, because he's been so good his whole career, but I just found it hard to believe that Justin Verlander would not dominate when he came back. So Zach, what do you think about Verlander's hot start to the year?
Yeah, I will say I was high on Justin Verlander, but I should have been higher on Justin Verlander. I know I had some opportunities to draft him and waited a little too long to get him, but we just forgot this dude drank some fountain of youth in like 2017, and he's only gotten better with age. I just remember even when he was young, as he settles into a game, he just gets better and better. His career has kind of been like that too. It's just as he settled in into his career and gotten older, he just keeps getting better.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Verlander is just like fine wine. It just appreciates every year. It just gets better as it goes. And I mean, holy cow, take a look at that ERA and that whip. Just wow. Dude knows what he's doing. Actually did get a little bit lucky that it's not a little higher. Mike Trout would have had another home run, but whoever was playing center field when Verlander was pitching robbed the bomb. So that's just another good thing. Verlander was keeping Trout like in the park, I guess. So just something like to see. He's really had some filthy stuff. I've watched all of his starts so far, and his ability to just like throw it on the black and then just like drop a hammer and a slider or whatever the heck he throws. Like he's really just out there painting right now, and it's just good to see a healthy Verlander back on the field. Our final pick for just hot pitchers, hot starts. We have another one that Zach was not too high on, keeping with the theme. We have Logan Gilbert. Zach, what do you think of Logan Gilbert's hot start to the year?
Dude, I'm the worst. But I like all the other guys a lot more than Logan Gilbert. I am
Don't
impressed
let
with
down.
I'm impressed with what he's done so far. Coming in, I just thought he was like a two pitch guy with a straight fastball and a loopy curveball. But yeah, he's shown that I'm wrong, and he's a talented young dude. So